Behind bars tonight, accused of breaking into a Raleigh teacher's house and killing her.
Yeah, a judge denied bond today for Ryan Camacho. Police say Camacho broke into Zoe Welch's home on Clay Street early Saturday morning and attacked her while she was on the phone with 911. Welch was a teacher at Ravenscroft School, a private K through 12 in North Raleigh.
CBS 17's Mary Smith is live for us tonight, beginning our team coverage on this story. And Mary, what have you learned about Camacho's criminal history?
Well, we know between Wake and Durham counties, he's been arrested more than a dozen times. We've also learned that he was released from jail about a month ago. 36-year-old Ryan Camacho appeared in court Monday afternoon.
You've been charged with the murder of Zoe Welch. You've also been charged with felony breaking and entering. If you were to be convicted of murder, you could receive life in prison without the possibility of parole or the death penalty.
What's up, everyone? Welcome to the video. This is Justin Paul. Just bringing another tragic, sad story, coming out of North Carolina, this time in Raleigh, where a teacher, was killed by a man who was just recently released from prison, maybe like a month ago. And it didn't take long for him to end himself right back in to the place where he came from. And I mean, this kind of story kind of happens like way too often, no matter the demographic. People get released from prison, and I don't feel like they'll be rehabilitated to the point where they are able to like get acquainted back into society before they do something else that just lands them right back into that same position. And maybe it just depends on what he was arrested for, but maybe if they try to take a look at, keeping certain individuals held or trying to put them in some type of program to try to help them even more, this teacher will still be with us. So very, very sad. Sounds like he was trying to break into her home and she was on the phone with 911 when unfortunately, she lost her life. I'm sure they're going to say something as far as mental health, because like that's one of the biggest crises that's going on. It's not to downplay it, it's just, man, you hear it so much. It's just like, man, what is actually being done about people who aren't at the right mental capacity to even be out amongst the normal people in society?
According to Wake County District Attorney Lauren Freeman, Camacho's court appearance comes about a month after another hearing for him where he faced misdemeanor charges from incidents in August. But her office dropped those charges.
His defense attorney did file for a capacity to proceed evaluation. That hearing was conducted in district court, on December 4th. He was found not capable to proceed.
So there you go. Like, he had misdemeanor charges, which, misdemeanor charges aren't going to keep you in jail, for long. But, the district attorney dropped the charges because he, had a hearing. They did a test on him to see if he was mentally, had the mental capacity to go through with trial and, with the whole court proceedings. And it was determined that he wasn't, he didn't have the capacity to do that. But, he had the capacity to get out, try to break in someone's home and kill them, though. So it's just a broken system, in my opinion, man. It's just like, I mean, are they going to create a law in this teacher's name now to, change up how the system is, change up how that process goes? Because, a lot of these, defense attorneys, they're going to that's going to be their first defense is mental capacity. And maybe if these guys are crazy, who knows, but they're definitely going to use that as like a scapegoat, as an alibi, as an excuse, in order to get back out. And 10 times out of 10, man, they don't really stay under the radar. They don't really go on about their business or try to change their lives, man. They end up doing even worse crimes than they were accused of before.
That evaluation raised concerns about his mental state. District Attorney Freeman tells CBS 17 her office sought involuntary commitment for Camacho so he could be treated.
We presented evidence, asked that the judge involuntarily commit him based on the evidence available. At that time, there was not sufficient evidence from the court's perspective.
There you go. More information. So the DA wanted to involuntarily commit him because he wasn't able to stand trial or go through the criminal proceedings, and they just didn't find that was necessary. Maybe now that they see this story and see his name and see that he's back in jail, it's like y'all could have saved a life by doing that. See the same thing that happened with the lady that went missing in Charlotte. It's just like when people show you that they're not capable of being out in society, you have to find help for them.
To involuntarily commit him. The state law in North Carolina for involuntary commitment is that you have to be a danger to self or others.
CBS 17 reached.
So if the law is you have to be a danger to yourself and others, I mean, my thing is, does it take the person killing someone after you release them in order for you to see that they are a danger to others? It just doesn't make sense to me.
Reached out to the judge who denied that request, and we're waiting to hear back. Records show Camacho has been arrested at least 9 times in Wake County and several times in Durham County. He actually has spent almost exclusively since 2019 time in custody. So he was first convicted in 2019 of felony offenses here in Wake County, sent to prison for a couple of years, followed by a probationary sentence that also ultimately was revoked as a result of that. During that period of revocation, he escaped from prison, was given an active sentence as a result of that. And then since getting out of prison on those offenses, has bounced between various jails, both in Durham County and here. Online records show in multiple cases in Durham, motions were made to appoint a local certified forensic investigator, which would determine mental capacity. We reached out to the Durham County District Attorney's Office for more details on these cases, and we're waiting to hear back. And he remains behind bars here in Wake County with no bond tonight. We're live in Raleigh. Mary Smith, CBS 17 News.
All right, Mary, thank you.
Killing her.
Yeah, a judge denied bond.
Into a Raleigh teacher's house and killing her.
Yeah, a judge denied bond today for Ryan Camacho. Police say Camacho broke into Zoe Welsh's home.
I just wanted to go back and get her name. My condolences and heart goes out to Zoe Welsh's family. She should still be here with us. She should still be here with you guys. I feel like whoever the judge was that made that judgment definitely dropped the ball. It could have prevented all this from happening. And the judges are in a position to where they have to make judgments, and I know sometimes that can definitely be difficult because you want to make a judgment in fairness, and it's just not fair that this family has to, bury their loved one because, you had a person who has been in and out of jail since 2019, and just, some circumstance led this person to her home, and now she's no longer alive. We have to take a lot of this stuff a lot more serious, especially when people show that they just don't have the capacity to be out here amongst everybody else. And, really, if you can't stand trial, then you have to be a danger to either yourself or to others. And we have to figure out a new standard when it comes to this. If the DA was trying to involuntarily commit him, and maybe they should have. And I do believe that, with a person being in and out of jail, that does do something to their mental. But I just don't feel like it's being taken serious enough. But I'm going to go ahead and close out this video. Again, very, very senseless violence and circumstances. But if you like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.